Hi all! Today I'm going to make a ear warmer. It is reversible if you want to have a smooth side or a ridge side. I'm using chenille yarn. This is Premier Parfait Chunky. It's 100% polyester, 131 yards. I only used a little bit, so you'll only need like one ball, or if you have some leftover yarn. So I'm going to do a double crochet foundation row, and I will very briefly show. Oh, and I'm using a 6 millimeter hook. I'm just going to briefly show you how to do a double crochet foundation row. So make 3 chains. You do a slip knot, make 3 chains, and then yarn over. And just go into that first chain. When you pull up a loop, make a chain in that first loop, and then hold it. Then yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over, go into the stitch that you're pinching, which is that chain, the chain that you made. Yarn over and pull up a loop, and then make a chain in that first loop, and then pinch and hold it. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Keep doing that until this is wide enough to fit around your head. Okay, I'm back. This is 21 inches long, 52 stitches. I would recommend doing multiples of 2. So 52, I think that means even. Now, stretch it out, bring it together, don't twist it coming around, and make sure this part is hanging down. This was your tail when you started with. Now count your stitches, 1, 2, 3, and the top of this one, 1, 2, 3, go into the 2 loops at the top of that chain 3 that you started with, and just do a slip stitch like that. Okay? Now we're going to do front posts and back posts because it's much faster and easier to do that than to do this method, which I think is pretty cool because it has a smooth side and a ridge side if you have like sensory issues and you don't like having ridges against your skin. But I think it helps trap heat and makes it warmer, and it's a little more stretchy than this. This is like half as stretchy. But this method, this one was done with a front post and a single crochet in the regular stitch. A front post and a single crochet. That's how this fabric was made. This one is going to be front post, back post, all the way around. So I've done a slip stitch. I've put my 2 together. The bottom here will be sewn together with your tail. So leave a tail long enough that you can weave in and anchor this against your end. So here we go, slip stitch, and on a front post, yarn over and a front post, double crochet, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. That's a front post. Yarn over, find your next stitch, come from the back, go forward around that, and bring it back. Keep it all in the back, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Go to the next stitch, yarn over, go into the post, behind it, and through. the other side of the post. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Find your next back post, yarn over, come from the back, and stay back, and finish your double crochet that way. Yarn over, come into the front, around the post, and finish your double crochet in the front. Front post, and then back post. Just make sure that you're not going backwards and doing a front post and a back post on the same stitch. Just make sure you keep going forward. This is a very fast stitch for chunky yarn, eyelash yarn, very fuzzy brushed acrylics. This is chenille. If you got teddy bear yarn, yeah, anything like that that's very fuzzy and hard to see your stitches, or even dark yarn, because you can feel between the stitches for your posts, this is ideal for that type of crochet. So this dark chenille yarn that I was working with earlier, I probably should have done the front post, back post. It would have gone much faster if I had done it that way, but I was just experimenting. I actually find it sometimes it's hard to show white on film because it's so bright that you don't see the details. So keep doing this all the way around, and I will meet you at the beginning of the round. Okay, so I've come around. I just did a front post. I'm going to do a back post. And started with the front post here, remember? So just yarn over and do a front post. In the second row. You're just going to keep doing the same stitches. So if you did a front post here, you're going to do a front post there. If you did a back post here, you're going to do a back post here. You want your ridges to line up. It becomes very easy at this point. You can make a whole hat if you wanted to. Or if you wanted to get a matching scarf, you would just do this flat. You won't do it in the round. You'll just go back and forth. So you just do like with like, ridges with ridges. Keep going around. I'll meet you back to the end. We have a back post. We're finished with that. We're going to do one more row. So here's your front post. And then we'll go right into the back post. And you can feel it. Especially with this chunky yarn. It will be really easy to feel. You could also make sure to use the right size hook for your yarn. I'm using a size 6mm. I could have probably gone up as high as an 8 because this is pretty fluffy. But it's such a fast make. You can make this, you can make several of these in an evening. they're very nice, quick gifts if you want to give them to like a coworker. It's just you know, what you want to put into it. Just make a couple in different colors. If you have some scrap chunky yarn laying around that you don't know what to do with, you could you know, do a row of each color and make it, you know, colorful if you don't have enough to make one. But this really doesn't use that much yarn. I think it would probably use like a quarter skein of a chunky. You could probably get 4 ear warmers out of one ball of chunky yarn. And if you make them really wide, or if you have one of those skeins that's a small skein that has like, you know, 65 yards in it, you might be able to get 2. Or if you make it real big or make a whole hat. Oh, and this can be a hat if you wanted to. You could do this ridge stitch for the whole hat, or you could stop it and then just do double crochets or single crochets. I would recommend single crochets, just so that you got less holes. And you can either decrease your stitches as you're going in your rounds to cinch it up, or just make it all the same number of stitches and then just sew it shut at the top. So it'll be a little puffy at the top. I have a puffy hat right here. It was just a tube, and I did the pattern all the way around and then just sewed it at the top. And I didn't even make a pattern, a special ridge, but you could do a ridge and then do this pattern. I'll link this hat below. It also is a chenille project. Yeah, keep doing this as your heart is content. And when you get to the end, I'll show you how to stop. And we'll hide our tails off camera. And then I'll remind you how to deal with chenille ends with either fray check or fray block, some sort of special super glue that's for fabric. It's a washable glue that doesn't stain. So, because some glues actually kind of yellow, and especially with this white, you don't want that to show. But yeah, I think I'm going to stop after this row. I think that's wide enough for a headband. Just for earmuffs. Or just, you can make this the ridge brim of a hat. And do something else. I'll meet you back. Okay, here we are at the end. I'm not doing any edging or anything special. I'm just leaving it just like this. That's the great thing about starting with a double crochet foundation row. It's stretchy and it looks just like the rest of your stitches, so you don't have to do any special edging. So here we are at the end. I just did my back post double crochet. Now it looks like it's kind of off. That's because we haven't anchored it yet down there. It's actually supposed to be like this. See? So this right here is the top of our previous row, or the top of the beginning of the row. I'm just doing a slip stitch and then a chain. Okay. Now this is sometimes hard to get into a tapestry needle. So I have something that I got from Hobie. That it's a big, they call it a wool needle. It has this huge loop at the end. It's great for chunky yarn. And it came with 3 sizes. And actually a trick that I use is instead of actually using this to sew, let me see if I can find my regular tapestry needles. Here they are. I just take the tapestry needle and these together, and together I'm able to use to sew them. So I take this and I use it as a threader. And then I put it through that loop, that filament, and then I pull that through the eye of my needle. So I'm going to turn it around so it'll be easier for me to show you. Now you see this leans quite a bit, but you need to look. This is your 3-chain start. And this is just kind of a loop in the way. So you want to just look 1, 2, and here's the 3rd chain at the top. Okay, and you pull that together, and that straightens it out. And then you can go back into the top of this stitch. And then if you want to, which I recommend, is to go down like into the post and just kind of weave your way down the post. You don't have to go that far. 3 stitches is usually enough. Come back up. So it looks like we're going to have to stop soon because it's doing that thing where chenille sometimes starts to shed. And yeah, you see that? Got all these little fluffy bits that are coming off, and then you've got this bare bones of your chenille. So I'm just going to stop threading right now and show you what to do with your ends. Cut it pretty close. You want to cut it pretty close, and then you can take some of the fuzzies off. Not a lot, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. You want to leave yourself a little bit of a tail. And I'm trying to pinch it so that it sticks out. There's a lot of loose ends coming off here. Okay. Now I've got my fray block over here. It's by June Taylor. I bought it years ago. It is still available. And after all these years, it is still liquid and still works. And I just put a little dot on the threads and the very tip, like 3 dots. It's going to get like the consistency of hot glue when it dries. I don't know what fray check is like. I haven't tried that. But that's it. That's how I do my chenille ends. I've made shorts about this before because I've been working with a lot of chenille this fall. And just let it dry, let it stick out a little bit, let it dry, and then when it's dry you can kind of gently stretch, you know, along and just kind of let it tuck back in. But these ends will stick out a little bit, and you may feel them because that is just the way chenille is. This was a pretty tough chenille. It never shedded. I don't even know what brand it is. It feels like Bernat velvet. That's what it looks like and feels like to me. I've worked with it before, but I think it's an older version from somebody's stash that I may have bought off of Facebook Marketplace. And yeah, it's just really good quality chenille. This chenille is, you got to be gentle with it, and you can't frog it. It just falls apart when you frog it. And yeah, I'm just using the posts as the way to hide, because they're already kind of bulky anyway. Only do 3 stitches, and then on the 4th stitch I'm coming back up. 3 more stitches. Okay, that's it. That's all I'm doing. Let's cut it close. Not too close, just enough so that it sticks up. And you pull some of these little bits off the end. Okay. Yeah, perfect. All right, let's get our fray block. There's no affiliate with this product. This is what I had on hand. I used to sew quite a bit. I used to make costumes. And this stuff works great on ribbons. Those polyester ribbons that you can get. They're pretty cheap, but they tend to fray and disappear at the end. Any ribbon will, really, even like gross grain ribbons. You know, that's what happens. Okay, we'll just let that dry. So I hope you enjoyed this. Like, share, and subscribe. If you have questions, please comment below. I will try my very best to get back to you as soon as I can. I recently reached 1,000 subscribers, so this is my first video that I've made since I've reached 1,000 subscribers, and I just want to thank every one of you. Please subscribe. It really does help. I'm not monetized because I don't have the watch hours yet. So the best way to help me is just go through and look at my videos from beginning to end, and you know, share them with your friends who also crochet. Take care and crochet your way today, because it's the only time we have. I'll see you next time.